What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The old school action. It's the Titans. It's old school players in the bottom of the map in the left color, playing as the blue civilization Thor. I know that didn't make sense, but it's just how it had to be. His name is Suppe. His opponent today, in the right-hand corner of the map, in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is Player. Now, if you guys are unaware, you might know who Suppe is. You might know who TSM Player is. These guys have been around for ages, and they are the best of the best of the best, sir, with honors. That's how good they are. So I think if somebody were to tell me exactly when TSM Player kind of became TSM Player, I know at the very least I've got videos on my YouTube channel of TSM Player playing against the best and winning way back in like 2012-ish, maybe 2013. So there's that. And beyond that, Suppe was around before my time from memory as well. And then obviously came back and was a bit older and a little bit more of a genius. So long story short, these guys are good at the game and have been playing it for a very long time. On and off, obviously. Like no one really... I don't really know of anyone who has played the game solidly without like a break, without like a year off or in some people's cases, 10 years off, you know. That seems to be the kind of the case. We kind of say, oh, let's hang the AOM hat up, and then we go, no, let's play the AOM. That's what happens. You can retire, but you're never gone. That's how it works. You're always going to come back in the end of the day. That's the rule. That's the law. Alrighty then. So we have ourselves a Hades versus Thor matchup on Watering Hole. I'm super interested to see how TSM Player is going to approach this. He's got some old school knowledge which might help him in this matchup as, you know, when it comes down to it, the Watering Hole matchup for Thor, it's one of his best maps. He gets all of the hunt that he wants. He's already going to move forward and eat this elephant, utilizing the special upgrade pig sticker in order to kill this one faster. And it means he's just going to live the dream where that's concerned. So he can do whatever he wants here, really, in this map. So the question comes, if you're playing against peak form Norse as Greek, how do you deal with it? So you got lots of hunt. You can go for Athena style aggression, but it's Watering Hole. The map's a little bit easy to defend. Also, you're Hades without those special hoplites, so you're not going to really be able to completely kill your opponent, but you could put some light pressure on. So that's one option. The other option is to grab an early second town center. You can see that we've got this beautiful hunt on this town center. So you could play for a more defensive game, go for some sort of an underworld timing or something like that. Or just kind of figure out you could what you want to do. Play more like to the late game, just trying to defend is another option for Hades in kind of all the matchups. He has one of the stronger late games in the game. So if you can survive, it's going to be a nice time for you. So you could play towards that as well. As we see the temple coming up, the village is just going to be able to finish. And I would assume an advanced time will be coming through here around about now. It looks like we're going to be seeing the 4:45 advanced time as Suppe is going to be moving into this position. Checking out what's happening. We see the house coming up over here for TSM Play. He might want to throw a wall over here to just block this all off. As we see Suppe doing what Suppe does best. Comes in and says, you know what? This location looks like a fantastic location to wall, making things very, very annoying. And then he's going to leave here and just say, lol, 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 and finish off his wall here with a little wooden wall segment as Athena, the god of choice here for Player. No real surprises where that's concerned. Freya coming through as well for Suppe. No surprises where that's concerned. And we will be probably seeing immediate barracks going down. You can see Suppe's economy here is beautiful. Ready to throw the barracks. Ready to get the units out. Live the dream. As we see the Scraling looking for something to do, but not going to be able to get into his opponent's base here just yet. Now, take a look at what Suppe's doing. He's got the resources to drop his town center. Lots of villages on gold. Lots of villages on wood. Maybe not quite enough to get the Chiron out straight away, but you don't necessarily need to. You can get the Chiron and after a villager as well. As we see these villagers going to jump off of gold here. and move back onto potentially these Hippo or something like that. As the Valkyrie going to come through, going to be a little bit of a pain here. Relics on the map, we do have the Pelt of Argus, the extra 6 line of sight. And on this location here, we've got the Scarab Pendant, an extra 100%. Scarab, Behemoth, Portable Ram, yada, yada, yada. Damage versus buildings. So right now, Soup's gone 2 longhouses. He's going to start making those raiding cavalry. The town center coming down for TSM player here. As the Minotaur pops out, the Ajax is out, and we do see this Skraeling saying, "G'day, what's happening? I want to be a little bit annoying." This villager here saying, "Leave me alone." And Valkyrie going to come over here and be annoying as well as this. These all start getting some nice little bits of damage here as the Valkyrie's going to come through here as well. Potentially going to take down this villager here as it looks like the villager will be getting taken down. The Minotaur not able to get that special off either. Nice play by Soup, getting an early pick here as more units are going to be streaming in. Soup's trying to throw down all the houses he possibly can here. Getting those dwarfs out. He's got 7 dwarfs here. In terms of actual macro, if you think about it like this, you need roughly 7 dwarfs to support, I think, 3 longhouses worth of raiding cavalry. But if you're also making dwarves, then pure dwarves, then you can go 2 longhouses plus dwarves onto food or something, and you can be fine in that situation, as well as the Minotaur here getting chased away by the Herser, the Ajax out of position as well. We haven't seen any military buildings getting thrown down just yet by TSM player. There's his stable. Oftentimes we do see stables coming through with Greek against Norse, and it depends on what your actual goals are. If you... the weirdest... we see a deleted storehouse here, so allow that sentinel to come up. I like that, actually. But if you're going for Hippocon, I would encourage Greek players, if they can, to not build too many and get close to the heroic age and start being able to make prodromus here, as we see an archery range coming down as well for TSM player. Over here on this location, we are seeing Soup getting incredibly aggressive over here, attempting to take down this villager. Looks like he may be able to, as he's microing it to the best of his ability. Picks off that one villager, almost going to lose a raiding cavalry, but the raiding cavalry going to be able to survive for the time being, though it is running past this town center, though the one on the front going to be the target. However, does fall down at the back there here as this raiding cavalry gets out of this position. We do see that archery range is down. The units over here now ready to get this town center. 1 Herser on that one. He needs to get a couple more infantry units out to be getting that town center down. And while this is all going on, Soup is just enjoying all of the fruits of having map control, eating all the rhino in the middle of the map. He's got rhino down here. He's got rhino up here. He's got elephant over, or more rhino here. He's got elephant over here. We're seeing this granary getting attacked, and that's going to be giving Soup a little bit of favor here as well, as he is motoring ahead in this game, and Soup is, and TSM player is going to be in a difficult situation here. So we'll see what his plan is. He's going to be finishing up on this hunt. One thing that I think is really important for Greek players is to work out if they need to farm or not in the classical age. And if you can avoid farming in the classical age, it's always really, really good. As we do see some units coming in by players, actually managing to get a little bit of economic damage here onto these villages as this town center does get up. Will we see a villager kill here? It's getting very close to getting back into the town center. 1 villager going down, the other one going to be surviving. These villagers getting pulled off of the food right now as those medium raiders coming in onto this position, not able to pick off a villager, though there is this villager over here that Soup has got his eyes fixated on. Does manage to snipe that one. Another villager over here that TSM player is not paying attention to. Might fall as well if Soup gets a little bit of micro there, and he does manage to get that one back. We see the villagers moving over here onto this storehouse for the time being here as this hunt is just about done. And now you can see player in a very, very difficult position. He's got 4 villagers on food for the time being, up to 13 now, so it's going to be okay. But for a moment there, I thought he wasn't going to be able to afford villager production, as these units moving forward here might be able to get taken out by player as he is continuing to put this pressure on. The question is now, where to next for Soup? Does he want to keep producing units? The Soup is a very, very happy guy when he is fighting in the classical age. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes after that as best as he can and just puts as much pressure onto his opponent as he can. Here is 1 raiding cavalry coming down. This is the beauty of the Hades town center. You can see it gets a little bit of extra damage. If you garrison villagers into the town center as well, you get even more damage out of said town center. As the raiding cavalry pushing it onto this position over here. Potential restoration is going to be necessary here if player doesn't want to completely get destroyed in this fight. As he does drop that restoration, he gets at least one Minotaur special attack here as the villagers moving up onto this location over here as the restoration finishes up. I'm sure those units are going to start attacking yet again. 85 population for Suppe. The TSM players 80 population here, but this Minotaur here is going to town right now. Just the one Hersa on this position as the Toxotes is attempting to take this one down. As the Minotaur is going to continue to carry this fight here, as well as the help of this this Ajax taking a ton of that DPS, but it does look like player is going to be getting pushed back here. The Minotaur gets completely ignored in that fight, and the rest of the units do fall here. Nice play by Suppe to make that happen in that fight, and he will have to retreat back, and PSN player will have to retreat back, trying to build more units here as he's continuing to go in with these Hippocon. Right now, the unupgraded Hippocon are not going to cut against these medium raiders, as they are just a little bit too strong at 8.8 damage, 115 HP compared to the 150 HP, 10 damage, 3 population Hippocon here. It's just not quite good enough as the Minotaur does get another headbutt there as the units are going to continue to push in and take this fight here. Ajax here completely surrounded as the Minotaur going to come back in, try and get a bunch of damage here. Nice marker there by TSM player to pull his Toxotes back. Whenever these raiders come in, he pulls back. There's a beautiful choke point over here, especially with the help of that Sentinel to help defend this one. So TSM player going to be playing this one in a decent fashion here to defend this. I love this building positioning that he's managed to do. Just one little gap here, or two little gaps here, is enough to hold this position really nicely as random villagers onto this gold mine getting pushed back. There's a perfectly content gold mine over here if he wants to grab that one. Just a little bit of walling action going on over there. It's a little bit far away from his base, but he does have a town center relatively close there if he wants to. As we do see the Toxotes here getting surrounded yet again as the Minotaur does manage to bash away one of those raiding cavalry as the Chiron going to be going down here. There's not really enough units here for TSM player, but his villager population still going up as Suppe is still sitting at about 90 population here as the Hippocon raids going to come in, going to start getting some villager kills over here. Suppe does react to that one relatively fast as one villager goes down, 2 villagers going down here, and we'll see if this is going to be working out nicely for TSM player as he sacrificed a bunch of units to get that to happen. As these villagers going to be moving up onto this position, it looks like Suppe did not spot that one as he sends those raiders directly to this hunt. No villagers remaining there. The villagers going to come right up onto this elephant over here. That's a very dangerous position to be in for those villagers if Suppe notices it. That's the big question. Suppe has scouted this, and if you're unaware, in Age of Mythology of the Titans, you can spot these elephants being eaten. When they're being eaten, you'll see the HP bar going down here, and this is not a feature of simply just recorder games, but also we're at Suppe's position. If he puts his screen on this, he will see this one here, and you can select it and see there's no HP bar compared to this elephant. That doesn't work on Extended Edition. That was fixed, and I assume it will also be fixed on Retold when that comes out. So we just enjoy these little map hack tricks. If you do actually look at Age of Empires 4, though, those kind of things exist in Age of Empires 4 as well. So there is that. As we're now seeing Suppe utilizing his cheeky little wall thing that he's been built over in order to get a couple of villager kills. TSM player is hurting just a little bit here as these villagers need to garrison into the town center here. As villagers up here going to be retreating. They could come over and eat these lions here if he wants to. But right now, we'll take a look at the economic upgrades. No real economic upgrades for TSM player. Suppe, on the other hand, he's probably got a bunch. He's got himself hunting dogs. He's got himself pickaxe. Living the dream here. He's also going up through Skadi right now. As we do see these raiders coming in. The villagers going to finish up that hunt there. And immediately they do spot the villagers coming through. TSM player throwing away 1 or 2 villagers here, trying to get away from this position here. As the Hippocon finally coming back into this position. Going to be taking these guys down. Nice play here, but Suppe should be able to get out of here not too without too much difficulty, as the wall will finish up on this position. And it might be enough to get a couple more kills here As if we take a look at TSM player's perspective, he still doesn't have his armory up. He's got only well, he's still eating his hunt over here, so he's got plenty of food, but he is trying his darndest to get to the heroic age here. As now we've got more walls coming up on this position, as it looks like Soup has got a little bit of spidey senses tingling here, as he says, I want to get over and check out those elephant there. I reckon those are being eaten, as the Hippocon still chasing down, or trying to chase down, these raiders as they're going after villagers left, right, and center. The chaos is ensuing here in this game, as Soup's got quite a significant advantage. Oftentimes, we see Norse players in this situation going for a very, very early tier after getting to the heroic age, especially if they're still hunting here, as we are seeing that player, Soup here is on the crowned crane. He's got elephant over here, so plenty of hunt left. So a very, very fast Mythic Age could follow this with Fimbulwinter, and it can be a very devastating thing to recover from that economic damage. So we'll see if that's what Soup's going to go for, if he goes for the more all-in-ish Balder here, as we are seeing a cheeky little wall behind this one getting thrown up. I'm sure TSM player is on to the next age. He's deciding to go through Aphrodite, which I think is a slight misplay from TSM player. Yes, you do want the momentum from Curse, and maybe that Nemean Lion to come through to help out, but end of the day, normally the Frost Giant, a little bit too strong for the Nemean Lion. As this fight is ensuing, TSM player, I don't think he can win this one just yet. He kind of needs Prodromus to deal with those raiders, but with the help, well, now we see heavy raiders in, so we definitely cannot be winning this fight, so he shouldn't be taking it, but he's going to be losing a lot of units here. Aphrodite just about to hit, but the reason why I said maybe you want to be going for that underworld for Apollo with Hades here is simply on the fact that you're going to be sitting in your base. So the only real way that you can find an advantage without having to push through your opponent's units is to teleport your units. As we see the Nemean Lion popping out, immediately that Frost Giant has got its eyes set on the Nemean Lion here. But the Chiron here ready to take this one out, and he does kill it, but the Nemean Lion does get frozen. A lot of damage going to be coming in onto this position. Do we see some Prodromus coming out just yet from TSM player? Answer is no. Are we seeing any sort of Mythic Age coming through here for Soup? Answer is no. He is getting this town center on the front, though. I think that it's a little bit more damage to be dealt from the Norse perspective to get the market and get the Mythic Age through. But Soup is putting a lot of pressure on here, and he's going to be running straight through with these raiding cavalry, going right after these villagers here, as the villagers will turn around and take this fight for a little bit here. But I think heavy raiders are pretty scary, right? But it seems like this is a bit of a desperation play here from TSM player to hold on, but now we see the Prodromus coming in. They will be able to deal with these raiders very, very easily. The villagers retreat back just a little bit. Just a handful do fall, and we will be seeing the Frost getting dropped here to idle all of those villagers from TSM player. That's 13 villagers worth of idle time. The army is idle as well, and Soup is going to be able to hang out for just a little bit here and get whatever he wants in this game. We've been seeing a TSM player going after these elephants. Did Soup not scout this? No, he did. He's eating the rhino first. Okay, fair enough. Makes sense. You wouldn't expect these these elephants to be getting eaten by your opponent. That's a ways away from home. In the words of I think it was Ajax, maybe Arcantos, something like the Trojans dare to farm outside their walls. I mean, in this case, they dare to hunt, but whatever. Onwards and upwards, we do see Soup's economy starting to get very, very big here. The market going up. No, that's a longhouse. Is there any market anywhere? I don't see the market. No market. Maybe a market a little bit later as the pressure continuing to mount. A hill fork getting dropped onto this position. Armor upgrades here. Pretty bloody good for Soup. He's at full bronze right now compared to just the copper mail through for TSM player, as he is continuing to try and delay the push through onto this location. We see the temple getting taken out on this position as well, as the Achilles here comes in. That's going to be a nice stopping power for those Frost Giants. He's got a lot of HP, 408, does tons of damage to them. A little bit slow at only 5.5 speed. I mean, if you compare it to the Atlanta, a little bit slow, but It's the best that Hades got, and he definitely needs it. That's all the heroes going to come through, going to try and take down these Frost Giants as best as they possibly can here. Soup's got tons of idle villagers at this point. He's getting himself fortified town centers. We do see that these villagers have been spotted on this position. They all get cleaned up. And TSM player still losing villagers in this game. Is he going next to H? Does he have any resources? Not really. He's making himself some trade here as well to try and help himself out. A dock up on this position, potentially in range of this town center. I don't think it quite is, as the hill fort looks like it's still going to live here with 300 HP, and TSM player needs to come back into his base. Meanwhile, Soup, surely Mythic H, still no Mythic H, still no market, still scratching my head, but he's got full map control. He's on 3 town centers to 2 town centers for TSM player, and he's got access to this one as well. As there's the market, there's the next age. I'm sure. We'll just wait. It's not like it's important. And Balder, the god of choice. I'm a little bit surprised to see that. I am. We're seeing portable rams coming out. That's going to be enough to push through here. But I'm surprised to see that, because Fimbulwinter is simply just like, you're already in front in economy. Putting your opponent even further behind on the economy is game winning. And I guess the thought process here from Soup is that he knows TSM player doesn't have any barracks down. And he's got 1 here, so he's making medium infantry. Getting medium infantry, but he's only got the 1 military academy, and to defeat a Ragnarok with all of the myth units that are going to be coming, you need a lot of resources, and you need a lot of those of Haspis to come through, as the temple does get taken down. Another temple getting thrown up in the back over here, as it's just a matter of time to see that population here for Soup to skyrocket. Is he going to continue to make these portal ramps? Yes, he is. He's also giving himself this upgrade, Levy Hill Fort Soldiers. It gives 20% reduction to Huskarl and Jarl training time. And if you're unaware, both the Huskarl and the Jarl take 9 seconds to train. So this upgrade makes that 9 seconds turn into about 8 seconds. So it's a lot of resources for 1 second less. You tell me if it's worth it or not. Anyways, onwards and upwards. We see the stables getting taken down very, very fast. The question is, will Soup invest in the Baldur's technology Dwarven Augur in order to make his portal ramps super strong? Or is he just going to say, nah, I'm just going to make a handful of portal ramps here and be okay? If I'm player in this situation, I feel like Baldur is telegraphed here by these portal rams being built. So you know it's coming, as you do see it in right now. As over here we are seeing some pretty cheeky raids coming in. Going to be hurting Soup's economy just a little bit as this town center coming up on this position. A whole bunch of farms being... There's elephants here. Eat the elephants. Lazy. Anyways, we've got ourselves the Ford Temple coming out. Some ballista coming through as well for TSM player. A fortress coming in here. Did I say a ballista for Soup as a fortress coming up for player to try and make life just a little bit tough here. These Toxotes are very, very strong if they've got somewhere to kind of hide behind. But if the fire giants come out, things get a little bit more scary here as this wall does get taken out. The town center is up. We do have a handful of Ox Caravan coming through onto this position, which I absolutely love from Soup. There's no real need to click Rag straight away when you can bank up a little bit of resources, get up to full iron upgrades, and then click Rag, throwing towers down and taking full control of the map and all the town centers can be a very, very smart way to play, a very unrisky way to click Baldur. As the town center going to get taken down, we are seeing these, look at these ballista here. They do splash damage, right? So if you click them in the middle of an archer line, it's just going to do so much damage. Not only that, they can take out, look at that. You can take out Chiron from afar. Ballista are literally my favorite siege. They just so useful in these fights here. If your opponent's got no cavalry. You don't even need to defend them in a way, as it looks like TSM player is going to be struggling mightily here when Soup decides to finally click himself Ragnarok. He's got tons of villagers right now. The raids still coming in over onto this position. Surely Ragnarok will be clicked in the near future here, as we see the fortress getting torn down here by Fire Giant. There's 4 Fire Giant and there's 5 Ballista here. We do have ourselves the Fire Giant Ballista dream. I've talked about this composition many a times, but this is the strongest composition in the game. And we see Hephaestus getting researched or completed by TSM player, but he doesn't even bother to click that one down. He knows that things are a little bit too difficult for him. Not only that, he's got no gold left, or just about no gold left up on this location. He's mining over here, but things are going to be very tough for him to hold. Just not able to deal against these Fire Giants and the Ballista and everything that's coming for him. Not even needing to click Ragnarok here. GG, well played by Soup, showing how this matchup goes. I do think that there's kind of a way in which you can almost circumvent the weaknesses in mobility here. If you're going for 2 town centers with Hades in this matchup and you do have the hunt, I think it's well worth it to go for an earlier heroic gauge, because players like Soup and Norse players, they love to go for those mass raiding cavalry, and those raiding cavalry, they're only as useful insofar as they have something to kill. So if you build a handful of prodromus straight away, then those raiding cavalry just will fall off, and then you can play a more infantry focused heroic gauge. So the idea would be to do some sort of prodromus into Hoplite, Hypaspis, Toxotes shenanigans in the heroic gauge, and this is when you go 2 town center. So 2 town center, fast heroic age, if you've got the hunt. On a map like this, it was totally possible. I feel like if TSM player went forward onto these Rhino in the archaic age, left his Zebra to eat back here, ate his Poe over here, left his Herdables in his base, and then ate those to build the Prodromus, then he probably could have came over here and eaten these elephant and eaten this gazelle over here or whatever was on this location, and would have had enough hunt and been able to continue in this game, and then also would have made more use of the earlier Aphrodite than going for a later Aphrodite. If you do decide to fight here with Hades in the early game, I think that maybe you 100% need to go for Apollo in order to hit some sort of economic damage on your opponent, because he's got the Frost, and the Frost is going to hurt your economy a ton, and it's too hard to do anything here. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.